Good day and welcome to another edition of Outside of Genie, where we will be looking at the race meeting from the fall race course today, the 17th of December, 8 days to Christmas. First of all, before we look at the form and the betting, I just want to quickly tell those persons who might be watching this video for the first time what Outside of Genie is about. What Outside of Genie does is we do a form analysis and then we use that form analysis to provide you, the punter, with outsider selections that you can add into your play. And therefore, if those outsider selections arrive, you'll be getting the bigger payout. Just for example, earlier this week, we gave a horse, Theravada, that was 40 to 1 in the betting. And that was our value bet as well, because we also give value bets where you can play each way. And if you play that horse each way, the horse ran third, paying 10 Rand 90 a place. I can assure that there's not many tipsters in this country that will give you a horse that pays not 10 Rand 90 a place. That is for a fact. If you want to receive notification when we publish our video, just subscribe and ring the bell, and you'll be notified. You'll also find us on social media, Twitter and Instagram, and our contact details 0835855133. Then a very important announcement. During the Cape Summer season on major race days, the preview video for Kenilworth will only be available to members subscribing to our daily analysis service. The reason for that is when I'm doing on the major race days in this Cape Summer season, I'll be doing an in-depth analysis of each race. In other words, I will do analysis on each of the runners and on per race, and then I will give you my selections, which I think. Now, yes, last week Saturday with the Cape Phillies Guineas was our very first day that we did that, and I managed to give the guys who did subscribe 4 nice winners on the day, paying handsomely. So, and I hope that the video for this Saturday, where we have that big clash between the Cock and Marshall horses, that will not be different, and we'll be able to give you some nice winners on the day. And if you want to receive this video, you can subscribe now, and it's only going to cost you till the end of December for 250 Rand. If you subscribe, what do you get? You get the race by race selections, outright winner, and 2 possible outsider selections, two daily recommended all to come doubles. Sometimes we might not give you double because the fact is that we don't see value, because when I want to give you double, I want to be pretty sure that the double might have a good chance of winning. Otherwise, why didn't play if you're not sure it has got a good chance of winning? Then we give you value bets to play each way, as I just explained. We gave you a value bet on Monday, the Veda, and that came third, paying 10.90 a place. Then we give you best bets of the day. 2 Saturdays ago, I gave you Sweet Sensation. At that stage, that she was 7 to 2. She drifted to 11 to 1. Not many tipsters in this country will give you 11 to 1 best bet. And also last Friday at Fairview, also my best bet was 3 to 1. Drifted to 5 to 1. Then we give you suggested trifectas and quartet selections again on Monday. In that race that was won by Star over Joburg, which was 20 to 1. That quartet paid 4,000 Rand, and we did give you that quartet. We also give affordable PA and pick sixes, which normally either win or go close, and you can then either add on to that selections or use some of our numbers, add them with your numbers, and hopefully you will then catch that exotic. You will receive our selections on a WhatsApp in this form. Your race by race selections, pick 6, P8, trifectas and quartet selections, our value bets, best bet, and then our all to come doubles for the day. So let's now move on to racing, where we are racing from the fall. And today at the Vaal, we kick off the program with 2 juvenile races. I don't do selections on that, but it's just one or two things that I want you to note. Before I go there, I just want to explain what I do is. What I do is I give you my first selection is my outright selection. That is the horse that I think will win the race, and then I give you 2 outsider selections in order. My outright selection is a selection can be at any price. I've given you outsider selections as high as 33 to 1 and longer that has 1. Then let's have a look at the betting quickly before I discuss the first race, where I'm not going to give selections, but I'll give you the betting. Evans Gold, Paul Peter 18 to 10, 2 to 1 Captain's Run 33 to 10, Veranda on Q 6 to 1, Buttercup 12 to 1, Gin and Tonic 16 to 1. I'm waiting for Brandy and Coke, but nobody is taking that yet. 20 to 1, whatever that name is, Dylan Nawas or whatever. Hindi Princess 22 to 10, 22 to 1, and scratch number 7, Marmalade Cutter. Now, very important, there are, I think you should know that Andrew Fortune has got Aldo Meyer riding for him, as well as Solomon's, both from them from the Cape. Now, Solomon's is only having 3 rides on a day, and all 3 is for Andrew Fortune, where Aldo de Meyer is having a few horses, also a few rides for other trainers, notably. So note that, like in the first race, you'll see that only Solomon is going to ride. Aldo de Meyer don't have a ride, so you need to take note of that. So that is something that I just wanted to point out. It does look like Paul Peter is going the same route last year than he did this year than he did last year, winning quite a few first-time races. But Cornet's piece is also well known, therefore, that his horses run well early, so he's also a trainer that you need to look out for. And here in the second race, let's have a look at the betting in the second race. Here the betting is as follows. Number 9, Arctic Skyline 5 to 2, Bella Bianca 4 to 1, Inferno Boy 9 to 2, Cotrinos 6 to 1, Star of the West 6 to 1, Starry Winter Night 7 to 1, 11 to 1, Roll with the Punches, Excesia 14 to 1, Forget the Time 18 to 1, and 53 to 1. Big 5. Again in this race, I see Aldo de Meyer is riding number 3, and Solomons is riding number 10. Number 3 is Ifran's Boy. It's a VAR by Kaboomie. That should be fast based on that breeding. And number 10 is Rafif by Captain L. Yeah, we're all waiting in anticipation to see how this horse, the Rafif, is going to run. Now, just something I want you to note here, that there's another Rafif here, Star of the West, which ran third. But you'll notice that the first race is a fillies and mares race. So here we have on cue an Otario by Jet Set Go by Jetmaster. I would very much look out for that horse. But what I'm trying to say is, here we have two fillies running against the colts. So they're getting -2.5. But Bella Chica is getting another 2.5. So it's only carrying 55 against the colts who are carrying 60. Now I can assure you that on this young age, there's not much between fillies and colts and geldings when they're 2-year-old. And yeah, I'll be, if you want to play in this race, which I don't do, but should you want to play something, you're definitely going to need to keep a note of this. Bella Bianca only carrying 55, and Rafif is a well-bred horse, and Warpop is by Captain L. He upgrades his mares, so I think Bella Chica might be a serious runner in this race. All right, so let's get the race down to race 3, which is a maiden plate over 1,600 meters. Okay, here we have the betting as follows. Number 15, Victor Lazio 5 to 2, Genie 53 to 10, Paraflax 4 to 1, Grazing on in the Grass 8 to 1, In Abundance 14 to 1, Star Effect 16 to 1, Purple Shadow 16 to 1, 22 to 1, and Longer the Rest. Now here in race number 3, my first selection is number 6, Genie. I see they named the horse after me. outside of Genie. Last time out when Genie did run, I did recommend to follow this horse that I'm sure was going to run an improved race. And I think even the 1600 meters today will suit this horse much better. Just something you want to note here. And when it ran its first race, it ran the 400 to finish in 22.9, which is above average. It says here late progress. And last time out was also running on third fastest to 400, stayed on. And you can expect a bold run from Genie. And he's going to give the favorite a hard time, I'm sure of that. Outside of selections, I'm going to go for number one, Star Effect. Star Effect came with more than a year off the track. This horse is very well bred. Star Sapphire was a champion in her day, and Star Effect did run on well after the race. 25.7, although very slow, but was the fastest finisher. So, but now today, Musieni is riding. Definitely, you need to include that into your play. Then my other outsider selection is number 4, which is Grazing in the Grass. Now, if you note here, this horse jumped in 2 juveniles behind Master of the Skies and No Breeze. No Breeze was no donkey. We all know he won a big race at Gravel and he's now going overseas. Then in a maiden ran third behind Seaways. Then they popped this horse into a handicap and those horse didn't do too well, pulled. So maybe the best is ignore that run, but I'm think racing in the grass today, definitely a serious contender. Sherman Brown on board, and he's a jockey that goes full out. So let's quickly just have a look at a favorite here. And the favorite here is number 15, Victor Lazo. Nothing wrong with the form. Larina drawn 12, but it's a straight, so it's not a problem. And this horse also ran behind number 99 last time out at 22 to 1. Was there and thereabouts and just here bumped and green. And definitely this horse is on the improvement. I'm looking forward to a race between him and my selection, Genie. So let's move on to race number 4, which is another maiden plate over 2,000 meters. And here we have the betting as follows. Number 5, Castle Corner, 7 to 10, 2 to 1, Pamushan Sprite, White Fang 13 to 2, Ball Running 20 to 1, 20 to 1, and Better the Field. Now, yeah, this is not a very strong field, but Castle Corner, number 5, always seems to find this one horse to beat him. And I hope maybe today will be different. But, you know, there's a saying that say, you back a horse till it loses, not till it wins. And this horse has been um, back on many occasions, always to disappoint. So hopefully today you will find the number 1 box. My outsider selections in this race is number 9. But I just want to say up front, I think these outsiders I'm giving is more in terms of placing and winning the race. But yeah, stranger things has happened. I think number 9 just phenomenal. Looking at the breeding, I think this horse will definitely appreciate the 2,000 meters now, stepping up from 1,200 to 2,000 meters. And you can ignore the first 2 runs. You know, a few months ago, there was a horse, well, there is still a horse called Kingsley's Heart. Now, Kingsley's Heart was also from the Marvin stable. And they did exactly what I did with this horse now. They gave Kingsley's Heart 2 runs, never showed. And then over the 60, they pop him over the 1,600 meters. And I did say in my preview that day, that 1,600 meters would probably be the minimum distance that Kingsley Heart would need. But yeah, I think he has got a chance to win this race. The horse duly got up and won the race at 66 to 1. So if you can afford it, in my pick 6 today, I have put in the number 10, Pamusha Sprite. Obviously, the horse, Louis the King, I think is going to have another lot of nice runners. They might take a little time. That improved, but, you know, was 11 lengths behind Reunion. I'm not sure about how far Reunion won. But I think I've got the my pick 6. I've just got 5 and 10. But if you can afford, just add in number 9. You might be thanking me after the race because I think today number 9 just phenomenal. Is going to improve. Maybe also a nice each way bet that you can take on number 9. Just phenomenal. Then my other outsider selection is number 11, White Fang. White Fang is a Ventura. by Trippy Me, and yeah, that debut nicely over the 600 meters. Certainly, the 2,000 meters is also going to suit. So also maybe you want to include that in your bet. So it might be a nice to take a trifecta and a quartet box, 5, 9, 10, 11 box. That might give you a nice uh, um, quartet and trifecta, and maybe if you can afford it, pop in the number 6 horse, Mr. Blue Sky, because I also think Mr. Blue Sky will be running a better race. So that might be a nice quartet, 5, 6, 9, 10, 11 box, trifecta and quartet. So let's move on to race number 5, which is a 40 meters handicap over 2,400, Class D, average minute rate at 72. And here the betting is as follows. Number 4, Bold Fortune 5-2, Ideal Jet 3-1, Smiley River 4-1, League of Her Own 8-1, or Feldflower 8-1, The Sass 9-1, 12-1, Ideal Angel, Consul's Queen 25, and longer the rest. Now here my first selection is the second favorite, which is number 7. Now, number 7, guys, I don't, as I said before, I'm very always reluctant to tip a horse who just won his maiden. But this horse is extremely well bred. It's a half sister to another horse called Jetstar, I think, who's won 4 or 5 races. He's got Aldo de Meyer on board, Paul Peter. This horse won last time out, won so easily. I never expected the horse to win so easily. I mean, I did say, okay, it's got a chance. But just the way it won, the jockey just sat there and the horse went on winning by 3.5 lengths. The jockey was patting the horse's neck coming 100 meters from the winning post. He was patting the horse's neck. And looking at this breeding ideal world by Jetmaster Me, I cannot but think that this horse must have a huge chance again today. Therefore, even today, I'm tipping this horse as a my best bet of today. But yeah, he's running against some strong opposition here. I know it is difficult for a young horse to run against some older horses. Here we have number 1, Ideal Angel, and also Ideal Wood, but this is a 4-year-old. But I also think that this horse will definitely appreciate this longer distance, and you can be looking out for Muzieni being involved in the finish. Then my other selection is number 2, League of Her Own, a Mishik's approval by a Spaceship Mare, also crying out for this distance, has never run 2-4 before, but I'm sure that Sherwin Brown is also going to be looking to lift this horse and get it there in the photo finish. But there are other horses with chances. Smiley River that improved last time out over the 2,400 meter behind Captain Chorus. So also maybe in with a small chance today. And number 4, the Bold Fortune is the favorite. Flower Alley by Richmond's Gold, also well bred. Was 3.5 lengths behind Illuminate last time, but today the favorite. But I'm looking for number 7 to beat that one. And that is then brings us to the end of this. And now we move on to race number 6, which is a 40 meters handicap over 1,000 meters, Class D, average merit rating 68. Here we have another very interesting contest. Number 1, Rapid Fire 28-10, Clock Stopper 4-1, Nina Amelia 5-1, Rashish 7-1, Allure Blue 7-1, Big City Girl 14-1, Claire Morris 14-1, Hot Gas of 20-1, and Longer the Field. So here in race 6, my first selection is the favorite, number 1, Rapid Fire. Although carrying 62, this horse has earned his rating and has been running against much stronger opposition than it will encounter here. You can just have a look here. Springs of Carmel, that beat Afternoon Tea, then 6 lengths in Alan Robertson, then behind Green, 6 lengths behind Greens, Vars, Vicky, Anna Capri, all top horses, Salon Queen, and Thumbs Up. And today it's running down in a lower division. It's running in a D division 68, where here this horse was running in B divisions 85, 89, 90, 99, 87. So definitely down in class. And I'm looking, and when you know that as is put on Lyle Hewitson, you can look here 15 runs, 4 wins. Then you know the business is on. Also, I'm also liking the look of number 2, Rashish. It's also, this horse is well bred, captains of all by the mare La Patronier by Badgerland. And I can think in future this horse might be even looking for further. Didn't show much behind before the dawn, but also again in a much higher division than today. And with Aldo de Meyer on board, I'm sure he's not here for the scenery. This is going to be a nice stretch to see. My other outsider selection is number 6, which is Big City Girl. Big City Girl, Cornet's piece. His horses, they won. I mean, the other day, he had a horse in that 14, 17, 50. It finished way down the field. The name escapes me now. And then the horse ran again last week, and he finishes third. So you never know. So pop in Big City Girl, because the horse ran 6.7 lengths behind last time out. But yeah, there was, and from this race behind Gang Leader, there was already winners. Behind Showdown Kid, already another 2 winners. So he has been running against some decent opposition. So Big City Girl, definitely a horse that you can't leave out of your calculation. And then here we have number 5, Clockstopper. Clockstopper won that famous race when the ambulance siren went off and everybody thought it was a false start. Yeah, but he's running here and there, there and thereabouts. But one of these days, they're going to get it right. As you can see here, 3.5 lengths behind Impressive Duchess. Impressive Duchess won the other day when I did gave it as an outsider selection. So then let's move on to the next race. Here we have race number 7, a graduation plate over 1,200 meters, Class B, average merit rate in 1887. And here the betting is as follows. Tropic Sun 11 to 10, Greens 5 to 1, 11 to 2, Sudden Charm, Letitia's Angel 11 to 2, Riu's Winter 9 to 1, From Here to Eternity 12 to 1, What You Were 25, Ferrari 25 and longer. Here again today, I'm gonna have egg on my face, or not, or everybody's gonna say, "Wow, what a tipster!" Now, when you look here at number 2, Tropics, and this horse is now favorite. It last time out won against with 6.25, but this horse ran in a 78. After in a 97, couldn't win, and then also in 99, so came down the division and he won by 6 lengths. Now today he's up against in a higher division, and we're talking here about 87s and so on. But this is not my first selection. But sometimes just because he now won by 6 lanes, he's a horse that's unbeatable. And that's not always the case. You must access the opposition. And in my eyes, one of the strongest horses in this race is number 6, Riu's Winter. Now, Riu's Winter won her maiden very easily. At that day, I remember they pulled out a coup, Stephen Moffat. But those horses run against Nicky Nu, Donner Revere, Rocking Russia, Summer Pudding, 0.25 lengths behind Summer Pudding, Celtic Sea, War of Athenia, and now here in a graduation plate. And I'm sure Riu's Winter today will be hard to beat in this race. Then my outsider selections is number 1 is Greens. Now Greens is also a horse I think with a lot of potential. He he did beat Letitia's Angel by 3.7 lengths. Then ran close to Anna Capri. Anna Capri, a very good horse. And then in that same race, last time out this race that I spoke about, Sweet Sensation, when she drifted from 72 to 11 to 2, it was also a future race. Sophomore, it ran 4th, stayed on. So I think Green's also in with a chance today as well. And then number 3, Sudden Charm. I think this filly taking a little bit of time to find the feet, but she has won some nice races. And I mean, last time, the race before, I think the 1400 meter was too far. And last time out did maybe go out a little bit fast and got run out of it, but still under a length to the winner. There was a very close finish, could just have well hold on. So I think Sudden Charm not out without a chance. Also, Letitia's Angel is a Andrew Fortune horse with Aldo de Meyer on, and if you can afford, pop this into your bigger pick sixes, because I'm sure, although she's a little bit out in weight, she will give a good account of herself. As you know, Monte, I remember, did win a few races that was imported by an old friend of mine. I forgot the name now. When you're getting older, you get Marlon Arnstein. That's the name I was looking for. So he has also run against some, he ran behind Greens, G4 Go, but he's a little bit out on the weight. Let me just quickly, what handicap that we are. So here we are on the handicap, Rius, Winter, Queen, Ferrari, Tropic Sum, What You Are in Greens. Yeah, What You Are is also one of those horses from the speed stable that run good races and then run bad races. You never know which one is going to pop up. Yeah, definitely. Last they did right over 600, now back over 1,200 meters. So maybe you want to include that in your larger permutations. Now, then we now move on to race number 8, which is classified stakes, class D, average minute rate at 72. And let's have a look at the betting. Here we have number 5, Rises 133 to 10, Forever Light 11 to 2, Soul Connection 9 to 2, Shortstop 9 to 1, 12 to 1, Corbett Captain Midnight Caller 12 to 1, Back to Back 12 to 1, Swiss Bank 12 to 1, Swiss Silver Master 14 to 1, Heart of a Legend 16 to 1, 20 to 1, and Better the Rest. Now, what for me, when I looked at this race, Andrew Fortune has got 2 horses in this race. Not one of them have been ridden by Aldo de Meyer, and Aldo de Meyer is on number 14, which is also my first selection, Heart of a Legend. Currently 16 to 1. Heart of a Legend, if you have a look here, is currently, his minute rate dropped from 88 to a 71, and I'm sure at one stage it was even higher. We can check that now. But those horses ran against some decent opposition here. Anne Boylan, Rougeleux, Sheer Talent, Sultana on a hat-trick, Way Over the World, also a good horse. Rises one, I think, is also going to become a good horse. Miss Khalifa has now won 7 races. So always finding better horses. And I think today in this field, the 6-year-old mare can, with Aldo de Meyer on board, can actually land up in number 1 box at 16 to 1. Definitely a nice bet to take. Then also a horse that I like is number 13, Swiss Bank. It's still a young horse. It's a trippy by Fordwood. I do like the breeding. Did win his maiden very nicely, and then ran in that big Empress race, but never featured. It says your respiratory noise and jockey didn't persevere with. But if you have a look here, Lyle Lewison drove this horse once and won with this horse. This horse also ran against some decent opposition. Anything Goes, Castle Dermer, Louis Jim, and I think Swiss Bank in this handicap can be a factor today. My other outsider selection is number 4, which is the other, the Fortune horse with Solomons on board, getting the -2.5. Also a horse that has run against some decent opposition, always 4 or 5 lengths behind, except for this one race behind Rises 1. And I'm thinking Cell Connection today is going to run a huge race. I just want to quickly check something here. Heart of a Legend. Come on. You'll see his highest minute rating was 97. Now is 71. Wow, that is quite a fall. And that maybe that's the reason why Aldo de Meyer is riding this horse, because they're expecting a good run from it today. Just for the matter of fact, here we are. Swiss Bank has got a best weighted to Heart of a Legend. The second best weighted Rises 1, which we just saw some form here, is third, and then Wells Harp and Lightning Rock. But I think some of them might be, we just quickly have a look here. Wells Harp, okay, let's have a look here. It's been running there and thereabouts, but this, this classified stakes sometimes catch me out. Here's number 16, Lightning Rock, carrying 52. Craden on board. This jockey, he likes to come with outsiders. So definitely a very open race. In my pick 6, I've got the field. So that then brings us to the end of our preview of the race meeting at Vaal. I hope I could point you in the right direction, and as I always say, break a leg.